All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about how the gig packages and gig extras are where you make your real money on Fiverr. So, as a seller, when you're just starting out, I know we've talked about a lot of the perks that you get once you're a top seller, but when you're just starting out, you can have the option to create up to 7 different gigs, which you definitely want to do because the more gigs that you create, you never know. Like, you may think that you know what people want out there, but you never really know what it is that's going to like be that one thing that makes you your bread, that's going to be like your bread and butter earner, right? So what I mean by that is, when I was first starting on Fiverr, I think the first services that I offered was WordPress optimization, and I started it real cheap, like $5 a page. And I got a lot of sales. That was my best seller until I became like a level 2. And then I increased my prices, and then my keyword research actually became my best seller. So it's a little weird how like that switched. But also, once I did that vacation thing that I was telling you guys about, and I put my gigs on vacation, and I lost all those rankings, then that was then when I had to earn all of that back. My keyword research actually outperformed my WordPress. So it's just, like I said, it's kind of weird how that happens. I'm sure it had a lot to do with how many users were offering those gigs at that time, and how many people were optimized for it, and a bunch of other things like that. But with that being said, you do want to, when you're first getting started, create as many gigs as you can. Now, I recommend that with one account, you stay focused in one main area as much as possible. So if you're going to go into like digital marketing, I recommend you stay within that digital marketing sector. It's just going to be a lot better for you for conversions and everything if you do it that way. It also helps because your username and your profile are all based around usually one centric idea. So you want to kind of stay around that same idea when you're creating all of your gigs. Now, that's not to say that you can't create 1 or 2 gigs that are kind of like, maybe you're doing like 5 digital marketing gigs. Maybe you want to do 2 fun and lifestyle gigs just to see. Try it out, see what happens. I just know typically from my personal experience and other top sellers that they usually stay within one main niche, and that's where they make most of their money. So that's just food for thought. As we go into this and breaking down these packages, I just want to kind of touch on the idea of the value ladder, because that's what Fiverr is doing here, and I really like that. I think, businesses do need packages. And when I was starting on Fiverr for the first 2 years, we didn't have this, and people that started even before me, they didn't have this. So there's people that was working on Fiverr for 5, maybe even, I'm not even sure when they first started, but maybe like 2012. Oh, 2010. So geez, there's been people that have been working on Fiverr for like, 5, 6, 7 years that didn't have these packages at all. All they had was the $5 services, and even the gig extras were new. That was rolled out when I was in my second year and a half in. So, I mean, it's been such a blessing that they've rolled these things out for us and have been able to expand our earning potential. So just the idea, very briefly, we're going to touch on this much more in depth at the end of the course, but the idea of the value ladder is that you're starting people off at this very low risk price point where they can almost try you out, if you will. Like, $5 is, you don't think about that much just to spend $5 to try something. You're like, oh, a cool new drink. Here's $5, right? I want to see if I like it. It looks awesome. It looks delicious. I've heard it's good. I'm going to try it out too. And that's kind of the whole idea behind Fiverr, is that it's such a low price point that it's like an offer they can't refuse, right? Oh my gosh. And when you offer a service that people need inside of their business, then it's definitely an offer they can't refuse at a price point like $5 or even $10. So that's where I recommend we start your packages at. You can actually start anywhere you want. So again, you guys can start these packages almost wherever you want, but I do recommend if you're just getting started that you keep around the $5 or $10 range. Don't go past 20. If you go past 20 and you don't have any reviews, you're probably just not going to get many sales. So stay low, even when, I just want you guys to think about this, when you have experts, online experts, maybe they're in marketing, coaching, anything really, whatever it may be. I've seen people that can offer packages up to like $1,000 or $5,000 for their expertise. But that's not where the services start, right? They don't start at that price point. So there's a value ladder that ascends, and as you go further and further through the journey with your customer, those packages and those services and those price points get higher and higher. So we always want to start off like, even, who's a good example? Someone like Russell Brunson. He is like a multi-millionaire many times over in the digital marketing industry. And yet he has a book that sells for, I think he gives it away for like $9, $7, $8, $9, something like that. It's under $10. So he's starting his value ladder at $10. And again, here we are on Fiverr starting at the $5, $10 range. So I just want to make that correlation that even though we're starting somewhere that's a low price point, that doesn't mean that we can't scale up. And that's exactly what these gig extras and these packages help us do, because now someone doesn't just see this $5 offer. They also get to see our $25 offer and our $100 or whatever, whatever the price point may be here. A lot of people like to follow the 5, 25, 50 scale, which I do recommend. For me, I wanted to order or I wanted to deliver, and be able to offer a very low package. Like someone is able to just like taste test, like, try me out, see what my quality's like, and work with me for a little bit and just see. And then here's my, where you actually get a better idea of what the real service is. And this is where I offer my organic keyword competition, and they get to see more in-depth, more information into their keywords and how those are going to, how they're going to be able to rank for those in Google. And then of course, here is where I'm doing massive keyword research for them. I'm doing over 300 keywords and I'm digging deep. This is like perfect for someone who's just getting started and they want to build out a website and they want to build out a value ladder and they want to know what all those good keywords are for their products and services online. This is exactly who that's for. So I wanted to offer a little bit of something for everyone, right? That's the whole idea behind packages. You want something that's very low level, low risk entry point here. And then you want something, maybe it's $25, maybe it's $50, something that's very manageable and that people will get a good value from though. They'll still be able to get tremendous value. And yet, you're still saving this premium value, that 5-star experience, that over the top delivery for your premium packages, where you can really give them like the white glove treatment and you're doing it all for them, whatever this service may be, right? But again, you want to make sure that this is properly divvied up so that it's it's a little bit of something for everyone. And the standard package should always be like your most popular package, because this typically should be the best value. Here, this can be a great value for people, but you're just not going to get as many people willing to shell out $100 off the bat as you are $5 and $25. So there's the packages broken down. Also the delivery times. And just a little thing about delivery times is that a lot of people think the faster the better, and that is true to a certain extent. What I've noticed is that in the digital marketing realm, especially within the SEO services niche, which is what I've been completely focused on inside of my Fiverr account here, and that is that if because I actually played around with it for a while, where I would deliver as fast as I could. Like, no matter if the delivery time said 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, I would deliver as fast as I could, and I thought this is going to get me more sales, more buyers, etc. And actually, what it ended up getting me was more bad reviews. I know that's so weird, but I think what was happening psychologically in people was that they were paying for something, and most of the time, again, my top seller was this $25 package. So people are shelling out $25, and I'm giving them a 24-hour turnaround time, even though it says like 3 days, and they feel like I didn't put in the work, right? So they felt like, oh, because she's delivering faster than what her delivery time says, she's actually skimping on the work. And that wasn't true. I was delivering exactly the same service. But I think that's what was happening in people's minds, is that they thought, oh, because her delivery times are this and she's delivering at this, she's not spending as much time on my order. And so with that being said, make sure that whatever your delivery times are, that you're able to keep those delivery times. That's very important. I actually got to this point on Fiverr where, when I was just starting out, and it was probably like 3, 4, 5 months in, around like the 6-month mark really, is where things like all turned around, because I did hit that top seller mark. So it was like probably month like 3, and I was at like a seller, I was like a level 1 or level 2, and I was getting so many orders that I couldn't keep up with what my current delivery time was. And at that point, because I was just getting started, I wanted my delivery times to be super duper fast. So like, for example, when I was delivering the WordPress optimization, I was doing that within like 24 or 48 hours. So that's pretty quick, especially for people that have like 10 and 20 page websites, right? And I'm getting like I'm like getting like 5, 10 of those orders a day, and I'm like, I'm swamped. I can't deliver this much. So I had to extend my delivery times, because I was getting to the point where I wasn't able to keep up with what I had set, and I was now getting behind in my delivery. So what do they call it? Going over delivery. When you have, I just want to show you guys real quick. When you have an order in queue, come on, orders. You're gonna have a timer, like a countdown clock, and it's cool because it lets you know exactly how much time you have left. But the problem was, when I was getting so many orders, I was going over these delivery times, and that significantly lowers your sales. Outside of messaging times and your response rates, that's probably the number one most important thing. And then I would put messages second. So if your delivery times, if you're going over those, that's huge. So if you're going over, you need to extend your delivery times. So make sure it's something that's manageable. And once you reach that threshold where you're getting so many sales that you can't deliver at that point anymore, make sure that you go ahead and extend those delivery times. Like seriously, that day, the day that you get too many orders where you're starting to go over, extend your delivery times so that way you're not being penalized in sales for going over. You won't be penalized, like you're still gonna get a bunch of sales even with 4 or 5 day delivery times. That's average. When you're starting out, try to go as fast as you can, and then when you reach that threshold, go ahead and extend. So that is packages, that is delivery times.